Internet, Eric here. Today's video, I was going to do it as part of my Is It Worth the Hate series of videos, I guess you would say. But after doing some research, I noticed that, yeah, a lot of people complained about this one. They said it was a disappointment, but they didn't really shit on it too much. Critics didn't really crap on it that much either, and it made a decent amount of money. So it's just going to be a regular discussion video. Today I'm talking about first time watch, 2017 Alien Covenant. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. Basic plot, as my recollection is, it's 10 years after Prometheus, the events of Prometheus, and we are following the group of the Covenant spacecraft. It is a colonist spacecraft. They have, like, everyone's in suspended animation, and they have an android taking care of everybody. And there's a fire. They're on their way to some planet where they're going to create this colony. Blah blah blah. It's paradise. That type of bullshit. There's a fire. Kills some members of the crew, including James Franco, which is good to see. It is being helmed at the time when everyone's in suspended animation by an android named Walter. He is played by Michael Fassbender, so he's the same model of android as David was from Prometheus. While they are dealing with the death of James Franco and who's in charge, blah, 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 they get a distress beacon, or they just get a message of a John Denver song being sung, and they're getting it from this planet that seems to be just as good as where they're going, but a lot closer. They land there. They find David from Prometheus, again played by Michael Fassbender. And then they have to deal with all this stuff David has done since him and Dr. Shaw crash landed to where they are. First off, let's get to the cast. First off, Michael Fassbender. Dual role, David from Prometheus. He's still this malevolent, wicked, evil creation, I guess you would say. And he is still hell-bent on, how would I say, creating the perfect life form that he was tinkering with in the previous film. He is very sick, very evil. He will do anything and everything to get what he wants. I liked him. Fassbender's always awesome. Fassbender's also great as Walter, the Covenant crew's synthetic. He is less emotional because that was the problem we find out with the David model. They were more, how would they say that? There's a line or something in there that says that David's model was more emotional, something like that, more prone to independent thought, something. And then Walter is not, and he was good. I really liked him. It's Michael Fassbender, like I said, and there's some scenes where Walter and David interact, and they're really, really good. The rest of the crew, I couldn't tell you their names to save my life except for Tennessee, and that is because he's played by Danny McBride. Danny McBride is usually somebody I don't like because he's usually in the Seth Rogen movies. I don't really like him then. He's fine here. He's the pilot. He's not in that many scenes, but he's just there to fly the ship, make executive orders when to fly through a storm, when the crew that is on the planet are, I guess you'd say, too far away to communicate. He holds a funeral for James Franco, and he wears a cowboy hat. That's it. The rest of the crew of the Covenant, I couldn't tell you their names to save my life. I know Jussie Smollett is in there from the Mighty Ducks, and the guy who got in all that trouble. He's there to say some lines and take a shower with a hot chick. There's a hot chick. Somebody plays Danny McBride's wife. His name's Tennessee, so it's easy to remember. Couldn't tell you who the lead actress is or her character. You have the new captain. Don't know who he is. So they're just there. You know what I mean? They're not awful. They're just not memorable. Like, you know who everyone in Alien is. You know pretty much who everyone in Aliens is. Or are, whatever. Alien 3, you know Dylan, 85. So the crew is still memorable, but you might not know their names. You know everybody in, or at least the actors in Resurrection. The problem is you don't really give, I don't want to say you don't give a shit about the characters here, but they just don't stand out. So that's a problem. The acting's good though, but they're not memorable. We get to find out what happened to Dr. Shaw and David. Again, I said spoilers. Dr. Shaw did not survive, so it's like a whole Newt situation. And David has been experimenting on her using that black liquid that the engineers have engineered, in Prometheus, trying to create the perfect organism. He's creating, the egg. He's created a facehugger. He's created a in Wikipedia, it says it's not a xenomorph, but it looks like one to me. Anyway, so the stages of the xenomorph that we are familiar with pre-Queen, I guess you would say. We see because when we meet David, he saves them from a baby weird xenomorph attack, and he takes them to this gigantic, not necessarily a castle, but a place where he's been living, and we see dead bodies everywhere. Well, you find out that the dead bodies used to be engineers. David killed them. That's no secret, you know what I mean? So there's really good foreshadowing to how bad David is. We do get to find out, visually, we see what happened to Dr. Shaw. I didn't mind it because I've said before, I don't mind that Newt's gone, they killed Hicks. I don't mind that they killed Shaw either because it helps with the malevolence of David. The gore, we get some chest bursting, we get some shots, we get some face meltings, we get a lot of all the good stuff, and we get something new. This alien, or the baby white CGI alien, I'll talk about that. It'll either rip out of your mouth or it'll rip out of your back, and it's some really good looking gore. I like that. Problem is with this alien, not that it looks different. It's white. Its head is shaped differently. Correct me if I'm wrong, Marty. I'm sure you will be watching this. Marty from the Trash Picture Show is the resident YouTube xenomorph expert. At least that I know. It looks completely CGI, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Mainly when it's in baby white, not xenomorph form, it really stands out. When it is eventually in this form, I think it looks pretty decent. But it's vicious. There's lots of good firefights. The problem is, people mention this, like a lot of these crew members are kind of dumb. Yeah, that's another problem here. You can't remember them other than, like I said, there's the lead girl, there's Walter, who is the android. You got Tennessee because he wears a cowboy hat, Jesse Smollett because he's black. Then you have everybody else. You have the one girl who is trying to destroy, I think she's trying to destroy the alien that's on the ship, and she accidentally, with her bullets, fires in the wrong area and blows the ship up. Whoops. Or you have the dumbass captain. Okay, this is the captain who's taking over for James Franco. And James Franco's in the movie, literally, he's in the pod, gets caught on fire, and he's in like a video saying hi to his wife. 10 seconds. It's fine. If you hate James Franco, don't worry. He dies super early, and he's barely in the movie. But once he dies, we have a new captain, and this captain is a fucking moron because when he is walking, he's talking to David, and David is showing him all the experiments, what he's doing, this and that, or something. I don't know. But he shows this new captain the alien egg. And listen, if you just meet this android, whether you think he's good or bad, doesn't matter. And he tells you to look into this egg as it's opening up, and he tells you it's safe. Don't fucking do it. He does. Latches on his face. We know what happens. There's a good fight between David and Walter. CGI actually isn't that bad. It's close quarters. We have hand-to-hand and stuff like that. Really, really good. It's an easy way to tell them apart because Walter is missing a hand. One of the alien creatures was going to attack the wife of James Franco, and he punches it in the mouth. It kills the alien, I think, but the mouth burns his hand off, so that way we're able to tell who is different. Great fight. Jesus. Great fight. Problem is the ending is very predictable. Like I said, spoilers galore. We know that it is David who is the surviving android. He obviously cut off his arm to make it look like, he is the good android. Even when I'm gonna call it the xenomorph. Even when the xenomorph is let loose on the ship, or it escapes on the ship, when we see the android just staring at the screen, not talking to the crew, asking where it is right away, you know right away it's David. Come on. So Ridley Scott doesn't even really hide that fact too much. Again, they shoot the fucker out into space. The only time that doesn't happen in my knowledge, oh my god, please, Alien 3? Come on, guys. I like how we get to... It's nice that we're on a planet that isn't so fucking dark all the time. Like, when we get to the area where David's been living, yes, it's dark, it rains sometimes for weeks and months. Looks cool, this temple that he lives in. But it's nice that sometimes they're in the jungle. Some cool stuff that Ridley has created, or some shots are, is these people who get infected, it's not necessarily because of a face hugger. They're stepping on mushrooms, and these I guess you'd say poisonous spores come into the air, and they breathe it in, or they goes into their ears. There's a really cool shot of we're tracking the spore and it goes into this character's ear, and then we're seeing this tracking shot inside the ear and it goes into his body. That's pretty cool. Never expected that. I liked how that was different. But overall, what do I think of Alien Covenant? Like I said, I'm not doing it. Is it worth the hate? It's just fine. It's nothing special. I like the finale with the alien, with the xenomorph. Michael Fassbender is great as both the good and bad synthetic. But the characters, other than Michael Fassbender's dual role, they're just not memorable. Like I said, I couldn't tell you any of their names. And the only reason why I know who the other two characters are is because it's Danny McBride. He wears a hat. That's how you can tell. And then there's a black guy, Jesse Smollett. His death is cool. I will say that. His death in the shower, that's really, really cool. But it's fine. It is what it is. Probably the weakest. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen Resurrection in a long time. And I think I remember saying that one was okay too. It just exists. So this one's good. It's fine. It exists. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. Tell me below, what do you think of Alien Covenant? Do you really like it? Is it garbage? Do you not care? Coming up Friday the 13th, Frenzy and I are reuniting once again for a live stream, and we're trying to figure out the whole fucking franchise's timeline. I'm trying to be as official as possible. Just decided today, as of this recording, September 28th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central. I'm bringing back my interview series, and my first interview back will be with deathmatch wrestler, the deathmatch juggalo, Brian White. A lot of stuff to talk about, deathmatch wrestling, some ICP, and some behind-the-scenes stuff that's kind of inspiring that I've been finding out about him. So that's it. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. Alien Covenant's not a waste of time. It's fine. It's there. Watch it. Cheers.